ProGold XP Online Tutorial. Topic 9, Accounts Receivable. Requirements, Topic 8 completed. This is a continuation of Topic 8, which was the setup of balances and recurring charges. During this topic, we will cover charging agents, receiving payments, printing invoices, and using credit memos. Charge agent. There are several ways to add items to an agent's invoice. In the Receivables menu, click on Charge Agents. The Charge Agents button allows a charge to be put onto multiple agents' invoices at one time. The screen shows a list of all the open invoices. At the top of the screen is the invoice line item description, which will show the agent what the charge was for. To take one fee and divide it between the agents, enter the amount of the fee in the Total Amount column, and click the Auto Allocate button in the upper left corner. ProGold will take the amount entered and divide it evenly among all agents listed. The other option to charge agents is if agents are being charged different amounts for the line item. Once the description is entered, enter the amount to be charged to each agent in the Amount column to the right of each agent's name. When the item is posted to the invoices, only the agents with charges next to their name will be charged for that item. After the individual amounts have been entered, the Total Allocated field, found in the bottom right corner, must equal the Total Amount field in the upper right corner. After the screen has been filled out, click the Add Items to Invoice in the bottom left corner, and the system will add the appropriate fees to the invoices. The Charge Agents feature can also be accessed from other places within ProGold. In the Payables menu, you can charge agents as you are entering bills under Enter and Pay One Bill. At the bottom of the screen, there is a button to access Charge Agents. There is also a button to charge agents from the Check Writer screen that appears when ProGold generates checks. Another way to add charges to an invoice is by using the Invoices button in the Receivables menu. Through this option, you can bring up the actual invoice and add to the charges that have been already added. To add to the current invoice, locate the list of charges in the middle of the screen and use the blank line below them to add new items. ProGold will always add a new line, so you can add as many items to an invoice as needed. At the bottom of the screen is a Find button that allows you to search for a particular invoice. Click Done to close the invoice and return to the main menu. Receive a payment. Click on Receive Payments from the Receivables menu. By default, it shows all the agents that currently have balances. You can also select the option to look at all customers. In the upper left corner is a drop-down, which allows you to select a particular customer to view. When a person is selected, the middle of the screen will list the outstanding invoices for that customer. Above the invoices is a black heading for the receipt of payments. The first step in receiving a payment is to fill out the payment line. The first field, Deposit to Account, is already filled in with the Undeposited Funds account. Next to that is the date paid, which is pre-filled with today's date. The date can be changed if it is something different. Check the checkbox and enter the check number into Check Number field if the payment is a check. If it isn't, leave both blank. The amount paid is for the amount of the payment, and remarks are for any notes regarding the payment. The second step is in allocating the payment. The Auto Allocate button at the bottom will allow the system to automatically apply the payment to the invoices. If there is more than one invoice outstanding, it will apply the payment to the oldest invoice and move toward the newest. Next to each invoice is an Amount Allocate field that will fill in with the amount being paid for the invoice. The Clear Allocated button will undo any payment allocation that has been made. Instead of allowing the system to auto-allocate the payment, you can also manually enter which invoices are to be paid. The yellow stack of coins icon next to the left of each invoice will allocate the payment to that invoice. Once the allocations have been made, click the Post Payments button at the bottom of the screen to apply the payments and post the payment information to the general ledger. After all payments have been applied, click Done to return to the main menu. The payments are not directly connected to a deposit. By default, ProGold puts the checks into an Undeposited Funds account. When you enter a deposit into the Banking tab, select the option Deposit Slip and click on Undeposited Funds to select the items that are part of that deposit. Once the items are selected, click Transfer to Deposit Slip to add them to the deposit. Print invoices. Click on Invoices and look for the Print button at the bottom of the screen. There are three options for printing: Print Preview, Print, and Email. The email option is for ViewMyListing.com, where the agents are sent a notification of the new invoice and can access it directly through their email. Toward the bottom of the screen are the print choices. It allows you to select which invoices are going to be viewed or printed. Print Current Record prints the invoice you were looking at. Print Date Range allows you to print invoices that fall within a particular date range. And Print One Customer prints all of the invoices for a particular person within a date range. The Messages tab at the top is utilized when you are printing the invoices for distribution. It gives you the option to put in a message that will appear on the bottom of the invoice. Click Cancel to return to the invoice, and Done at the bottom of the invoice to return to the main menu. Credit Memo. Credit Memo is an option used to apply a credit to someone's account. There are a couple of scenarios where credit memos are used. When an agent makes an overpayment, to reimburse an agent when they've paid for something, or some companies use it to credit an agent's account as a bonus to be applied to the next invoice. Click on Issue Credit Memo and then select New at the bottom of the screen. Select the appropriate customer from the drop-down at the top and then fill in the description and the amount of the credit. This credit can be applied as a payment to a future invoice. After the information has been filled out, click Done at the bottom of the screen to return to the main menu. The credit memo will then appear in the agent's account as a credit that can be used toward outstanding or future invoices. To apply the credit memo to an invoice, go into Receive Payments and select the correct agent from the drop-down in the upper right corner. A list of the unpaid invoices and/or credit memos will appear in the middle of the screen. To apply a credit memo to an invoice, check the Zero Payment Credit box in the bottom left corner. Then click on the yellow stack of coins icon next to the credit to use the credit, and click the yellow stack of coins icon next to the invoice that the credit will be applied to. To finalize the application of the credit, click the Post Payments button at the bottom of the screen, and a message will appear to show the payments were applied. Click Done at the bottom of the screen to return to the Payables menu. Invoices on ViewMyListing.com. The Invoices tab in ViewMyListing.com displays up to 12 months of the agent's invoices. These are the receivables that have been created in ProGold by the office and show the agent what they have been billed for. Clicking on an invoice brings up the details below to show what the charges are and if any payments have been applied. An icon in the upper left corner allows the invoice to be printed from ViewMyListing.com. After completing this topic, you are ready to charge agents and manage the receivables as they come due. If you have any questions on this topic, contact Taro Systems Enhancement HelpNet Center at support@taronetwork.com.